Today, I want to go through daily activities. Like, what are daily activities that we can take to really make sure that we are consistent with our like revenue generating activities, if we want to just call it, use some of my lingo. Um, Not necessarily my lingo, but you guys know what I mean. So, I have 10 things that are going to be essentially our daily checklist. And then I'm going to make a actual like checklist that I give you guys so that we can be nice and organized with it. Uh-oh. You can y'all hear me? Yes, okay. Got it. Tevin confusing me. So I today I want to go over like daily activities. Like, okay, what do we do? What are things we can do every single day to move the needle forward? What are things we can do every single day to ensure that we are always pushing in a way that like pushing to get more business? And I committed to 10 on a call. And I chose 10 because I thought that's kind of a hard number. It would have been easy to come up with like two or three, but I wanted to come up with a slightly more difficult number so that I could kind of get a little more creative and force myself to think outside of the box. So we came up with some things that I think all sort of play with each other. And the cool thing about it is going to take a whole lot of time. A overly nothing's an overly like complicated strategy, but what everything is set up to just move the needle and make sure that you're really putting your business in a place where there's always the good and similar activities that are being done that will get you where you want to be. And we're going to categorize them as well. So the first thing we're going to do is what are things that we need to be in like physical, like in a place for. So like the first things we're going to focus on are things we should be doing when we're out and about. These aren't for office, these are for out and about. So I'll share my screen here and we'll look at them. If you have not signed up for bid mailers, I think that it's something you probably should do. For those who don't know what bid mailers is, it is a basically you tag homes that you think could potentially need a new roof and you upload them to bid mailers platform and then that allows you to send them an actual estimate, kind of like the instant calculator, except you're like going out and getting them. The nice thing about it is the mail literally shows up with the first thing they see is a picture of the street view of their house. So they're going to look at it. They're going to check it out. Now, you're probably going to have a high closing rate and a very low conversion rate. So we want to focus on cost per acquisition, not cost per appointment, because your cost per appointment is going to be really high, but your cost per acquisition won't be. Because we're looking, say we send it to 500 people, that might be right around like 1,500 bucks. You get 3 calls from the 500 and then you close 2 of them. So for 750, you close a 10, 15, $20,000 job. And ideally you like identified some good homes. So that's something I think you should be doing and it will compound. And you guys know I love me some compounding. So this will be something that stacks and stacks and stacks. If every single day you tag 25 homes and every 200 homes or every 300 homes or once a week or whatever it is, you send out a batch of them, then you're going to have a ton of people that have your estimates in their hands. And while conversion rate could be low, you're going to get calls every once in a while. And the more you send, the more you're going to go. And it's $3. So this would be $75 a day if you're doing it in this. But I really do think that this is probably like one of the more effective uses of like your marketing dollars that you could be spending. The reason, if you are a private client, that I do not just rush you into using these types of strategies and to rush you into using bid mailers as like a primary thing is because it takes a long time. So this is not a immediate gratification. It's not a I tag a home today, I send out the mail tomorrow, and then they call me on Friday. It is something where it might be a month or a month and a half before someone calls you, and maybe even more. So we need to be aware of that, but it's one of those things where it's always going to be a month or 6 weeks away from a batch of mail, like maybe beginning to get you some good results. So the more you can do that, the more you can be putting these things and stuff out there on a normal basis, the better luck you're going to have. As you're doing that, you tag your 25 homes. The next thing that you can do is basically like the equivalent of a mastermind campaign with each of the homes that you tagged. So don't just drive around and tag the homes. Spend a little bit more time. And this is something where it can be done all the time for your business, but you as the owner do not always have to be doing it. So this is something that your sales reps can be doing once you build that team on your behalf so that they always know and understand revenue generating activities. So in this case, we want to put the leave behinds or a door hanger or something when we tag the home so that that's just an additional touch point for the same people. So that is similar to the mastermind campaign. If you've ever watched one of those trainings where we go through, okay, what's if we are in a situation where we have to get business and generate new business in a new area by door knocking, how do we do it in a way that matches and does not take away from the identity of the friendly neighborhood roofer? Because if we become just the door-to-door salesperson, the company who's knocking doors, or the sales company, and we just decreased our status, or at least made some of the other things that we want to do in the future are less effective. So the mastermind campaign kind of walks you through that, but we want to put the leave behinds or a door hanger with each home that we do. And remember, this is an everyday thing. And then as we're doing this, we want to find different Facebook groups that are local. For my neighborhood, there's probably 5 different Facebook groups that are like that people hang out in, that are just general community neighborhood Facebook groups. Most neighborhoods have 1 or 2 or 3. Join every community Facebook group you possibly can. So this last one is really more if you are specifically like doing an inspection. But if you're not, you can adjust. But in general, this is not a, hey, we're a 5-star roofer and you should call us. It's mostly documentation with a very, very, very light CTA. So in the Facebook group, we want to basically just say, like, take a picture of some damage or take a selfie of us on a roof or whatever, and just post and say, hey, out in the area doing some roof inspections. If you ever need anything, just if you want us to stop by your house while we're out here, let us know. It's not something that you can just do and post in the same group over and over, but you probably can get away with it every once in a while, and it's not going to be like that canned one post in 5,000 groups. Be very intentional and just choose one group to do that in, and do this as kind of a daily activity. So these are some things that we can and should be doing each day when we're just out and about. Now, I know that Dope doesn't do this, Brian, but it's for bid mailers. Bid mailers is a specific company, then they don't charge a setup fee. They don't charge anything, at least as of April 22nd, 2025. They just charge per piece. So there's not like really, it's pretty risk free for the most part. Like you're going to pay to actually get the mail out, but you're not going to, um, you're not necessarily going to be in a situation where you're like having to like come out of pocket for a whole lot for anything. Um, the final thing that I want to point out for when we're doing like something that you can be doing on a daily basis when you're out in the field or when you're in areas. So this can be when you're at the gas station. Post on your Google business profile a picture that you take and upload it directly there. The reason this is great is because every photo has like, I'm not going to get too technical, but essentially, if you look in your iPhone right now and you type in the vacation you were on 2 years ago, it's going to know the photos that you took when you were in France. Every photo that you take on your phone is geo has like a metadata that basically like geo targets it. So Google does pay attention to that. So if you post from your office versus if you post from a neighborhood, there is a difference in how that like affects your Google ranking and stuff like that. So this is mostly just your Google business profile, but make sure that you are on job sites and neighborhoods. If you're in the gas station close by area that you want to work in, or if you're doing canvassing or anything, post on your Google business profile. If you do this every day and you have like organic pictures there, it will be really, really good juice for getting more calls from your Google business profile. So these are a few things that I want you guys to be considering doing every day. And I'm going to make this into like a nice checklist for each of you, for anyone, add it with the video. So don't worry about like remembering everything. This is more an overview of what the checklist is going to be that I'm going to just give everyone access to. So these are 4 things we want to be doing as often as possible when we're out and about. The more digital touch points and like like the things that we want to do that are more, I'm trying to think of the right word. The thing that we want to do that's more like office based or just more like from your phone or CRM based or whatever is going to be, one, try to post on social media almost every day. Like if you're not posting pretty much every day, then you're missing out on an opportunity. And this is your personal profile. I know none of us want to be, or maybe, but I know for the most part, we probably don't just want to be a uh, social media influencer. I know as much as it might be hard to believe, I do not like posting on social media that much. It's not something that like I think about and enjoy. Uh, it's not something I think about as like, oh, nice, like I love this. It's just something that is a helpful thing to be doing over and over and over again. So things that we can be doing on Facebook every day is, one, general posts. So this is mostly going to be documentation. So if you look up the training process driven social media, if you haven't watched it, if you have, this is generally the stuff that I want you to be posting, like document what you're doing when you're out and about running around. But if you don't have things that you're doing, or if you don't have stuff, make it more like what you would be doing if you were inspecting the roof. Like these are the types of things we look for. Try to show your face, make it more like not necessarily educational in regards to them needing to become a roofer, but more educational as a demonstration that you would be a trustworthy expert for them, if that makes sense. I know that like this doesn't need to be blog posts. This doesn't need to be creating new strategy. This doesn't have to come up with all these marketing angles or anything like that. It's just basically you showing, hey, this is what I do, this is what I think about, this is what I work on all the time. So when you're looking, like an example on social media would be if you didn't have inspections, you could do a post, be like, these are the main three things that I look for when I'm doing a roof inspection to determine whether it needs to be replaced or whether repair would be appropriate. Or this is why I always check attics. One time this happened. That kind of thing. If you're out and about, it's easy. Just tell people what you're doing. You kind of want this to be a behind the scenes type of thing. The main thing people want to know is that one, you're a human, a real person, and two, that you know what you're talking about. And the best way to do that is not by like trying to appear as an expert. It's really more just by showing that, hey, I'm doing it. I do this all the time. If like they don't want theory, they don't want 5 tips to prepare your roof for fall. They want to see that you actually climb up on roofs and know what you're doing when you're looking at them. So I would challenge each of you to post every day on your personal profile. You can post on your business page too. I suggest making sure that you post on your business page some, but the personal page is where you're going to get most of the actual like engagement and most of your actual referrals when you get good at it, even if they message your business page. Um, so don't neglect your personal page because that's where the most magic happens. On the business page, you can just copy the same thing if you want, or more is like post your before and afters and post like a screenshot of your reviews and stuff like that. Um, so Brian just said Morgan had a good post. So if you guys know Morgan, check it and you're here watching this today, go check it out. The next, tag a referral partner. Once again, this training is referencing other individual trainings, but tag a referral partner. If you have not watched the video, the like 5-minute video I've done on how to like nurture and create some B2B relate referral partners on Facebook groups, go check that out. It's even on YouTube if you want to go look that way. But and I'll drop a link. I'll have a link for this like below the video as well, so you can check it there. But the play is essentially finding someone that is like tagged over and over again. So if someone says, "Hey, does anyone know a good plumber near me?" and you look, and for the last 3 posts in a Facebook group where people were asking for plumbers, Brian's Plumbing got tagged by multiple people on each one, then Brian's Plumbing is probably a good plumbing company. Especially, and then if you notice that Brian's Plumbing is like that they're tagging Brian with Brian's Plumbing or Brian's actual profile is answering, then you connect with them. The way that you do it is you just message them and say, hey, what's up? I am looking to just be a better resource to some of these community groups I'm in, and I noticed you get tagged often for plumbing. Would it be cool if I started tagging you? Just trying to expand my network and want to make sure that I'm able to help the people in these groups. Like I run a roofing business, and I just want to make sure that we can be as good of a resource for them as possible. I just wanted to message you before I just started tagging you so that you didn't think I was just some random person. Generally, that alone will get people to start tagging you back, but once you reinforce it by actually tagging them and making this a habit, you will see a lot of opportunity. So this is once again, these are ways to just put more lines in the water. Anything that's a daily activity is a opportunity to create um, stacking results. It's not necessarily something where you're just going to like go playing home run derby over and over again, because at the end of the day, like those types of things, you don't have just infinite amount of money or infinite amount of times you can do it. This is an example of something that if we can just low effort, low barrier to entry things that we can just set aside a few minutes a day to do. And if you do this once a day in different Facebook groups and try to get organized on how you're like establishing um, who to tag and what to tag, and you are good at like, okay, root, like what are the different things that people are posting for landscape design? What are the things that people are posting for pools? Like get as big of a list of different plumbers and of different like trades as you can, and then try to find one main referral partner per group or per area if you want to just be more broad. Like if there's 3 Facebook groups for Ulster, which is the little city suburb I live in, maybe I would just use the same, maybe I would just tag the same plumber over and over again in all of them. But have different areas that you're looking at this, have different areas that you're in these groups with, and then find people to tag. And then do that over and over again. If you can have that as something that you're doing every day, you will start getting more referrals from these people, and it will just be a good way to get yourself up there. The next social media thing that we can do every day is simple. Go in the Facebook groups, find people who have posts like, and this is not just one Facebook group. You just look in one Facebook group, you're going to have trouble doing this daily. This is have a list of 15 Facebook groups, and every day look to see if for the people that have posted about roofing at some point or posted about needing a roofer, and look in the comments to see if they like, if there's other people that are like, oh yeah, I need a roofer too, or something like that. And then what you want to do is just message them very casually. So ChatGPT, as I was getting some of these things organized, said keep it chill, no pitch slapping. But the way that I would suggest doing this is, hey, I was searching the group for people who needed roofing. I just saw your name. I was wondering if you ever gotten taken care of. If not, like I'd be happy to help and check it out. Super casual. If you do that 3 times a day, or if you have someone on your team doing that 3 times a day, or even better, if you have multiple people on your team doing that 3 times a day, then you're going to start getting some opportunity from that. So that's going to be the stuff to do on social media. As you're kind of organizing some of these things, what you want to get clear on is how are you going to get these things? How are you going to like make sure that you're doing this? Because like this stuff is simple and it's not, I'm not here to pretend like I'm giving you a single revolutionary thing. Now, I think there's maybe a little bit of added creativity in like the way I suggest doing the actual like the B2B stuff, like the networking and stuff. But you're probably like, oh yeah, okay, that could be cool. That could be cool. This is something where like if you just set aside 20 minutes a day to do this stuff, and it might not take 20 minutes the first time, but over time it can become pretty second nature. If you just set aside 20 minutes a day to do this and you made sure that it was being done, you tracked it, then you would be able to see and witness a lot of exciting things for your business. So I would encourage you to have either a checklist, to use something like a habit tracker app, to have a paper checklist, whatever it is, I don't care. Something that just is like able to help you keep up with whether you're doing this stuff or not. Because I almost can guarantee you that if you can do all the things on this list every day, then you're going to start seeing more results. And all of them are relatively low effort. The most effort you're going to put in is the boots on the ground stuff. And that's more for people who like really need a pipeline. If there's anything that's optional, I would say that would be it. But it's even worth checking, like, when am I doing that? Am I not? If I did that for a week versus if I didn't do that for a week, Are there clear, measurable differences? And there probably will be. Um, and then Kevin, like someone like you, I don't want you doing this at all. Ideally, I want, if we bring on a new salesperson, for that to be like this list to kind of be their Bible of what should I be doing if I do not have leads to run. And that will give them some new things. It can also be your current sales rep. Like, what are some things I can do, like just when I'm off and when I'm not out in the field running appointments. Um, so that's an example. Kobe, you will need this stuff more if you bring on a team. Right now, you're in a pretty good spot, I would say, with like your pipeline and the way that uh, your company's structured and with your network. So these things are all just like kind of would be cherry on top for you. Brian, this list would be good for you. Tevin, this is 100% something that uh, you should be doing as like the salesperson for BlackRock. Jose, I'm not sure if this is Jose Bolaños or if it's a different Jose that is new to the group. But if you are a Jose the roofing company, then I think you are. I would encourage you to um, do some of this stuff in a way, like do some of these things just daily and just watch what happens. At the end of the day, the best companies are the companies that have mechanisms to do the small stuff well and at volume and over again. And that's the secret that no one wants to tell you because it's kind of a harsh truth. It's not as fun. This list of checking these boxes off every day isn't going to be a blast. But having more money in your bank account is nice, and getting a stream of people calling you over and over again is nice, and having enough sales and lead volume to where it's easy to bring on an additional salesperson and having them do this stuff for you so that it's always being done on the behalf of your company is nice. So we want to be in a situation where like we recognize the power of these daily efforts and how they can stack and really give us freedom over time. It's another example of a million where discipline creates freedom. If we can be disciplined around doing this stuff, then the outcomes will come. The final couple things that I would encourage you to work on is these two. So first is every day you can look at what listings are put up in my I we have HAR in Texas. I don't know if that's national, but Zillow, Redfin, like all the different um, home listing apps, and even like the rentals, like even if there's like a rental, it doesn't really matter because you're messaging the realtor offering your assistance. I would basically just offer a free inspection. In long term, I don't want you just like blindly offering inspections to realtors because that will be a time beast and probably not generate you a whole lot. But if for a salesperson to do it, great activity when their sole purpose and sole job is running leads and getting sales. As the owner, it's something where when your pipeline is dry, this is a good thing to look at. Realtors are a good place to look at. And also like you're going to find a realtor that is a powerhouse. I just was on a sales call with someone today that I think is going to sign on, but once he gets about since January when he established this relationship with the realtor, not a brokerage, just an actual realtor, they've sent him on average of one closed re-roof a week. Not he runs one appointment a week, which even that would be awesome. He closes one job a week from this one realtor. There are people and there are realtors like that. So this is a good way to kind of put some lines in the water and get them. And then this is the final thing I would suggest doing. This is 5 because 1, there's a lot, and 2, this is like a very, very these people don't just kind of have your customers. These people are talking about roofs to your customers often. So they know if they have a relationship with their client, then their client, they know before maybe even a roofing company knows that they need a roofer. A lot of people go straight to their insurance agent for referrals and stuff. So what we want to do is understand, one, we can't incentivize them. So I can't give the insurance agent $1,000 to refer me, but I can give them $1,000 coupon to give for my customers. Now that sounds like a lot, and I get it. But if we look at what our cost per acquisition might be, what our cost per acquisition might be if we were running Facebook ads even, or Google ads, or even if we were looking at, I think it would probably be $500, $600, $700, $800. $1,000, even if it's a repair, that's $1,000 repair that cost you $200 in material and a day rate for a guy or something. Even that is really a pretty reasonable cost per acquisition. You actually and that could be a really good relationship builder. Now, more likely, they're going to be like, this person needs a new roof, but honestly, like it's not an insurance job. And I just told them I'd like call around. And now you have the chance to give the insurance agents increased status with their homeowners, which is going to be a great incentive for them. So they will be motivated to put you in front of people because, hey, I know someone that will give you. I have a special deal worked out with a roofing contractor. Like I have $1,000 credit I can give. I don't know if that's something that you'd be interested in using, but like I can get you in touch with them. Like they might be able to give you a little discount, or you might not have to come out of pocket a whole lot at all on this repair. That type of thing gives you, one, the opportunity to build a relationship with the homeowner, but in reality, the biggest person that you're building the relationship with is the insurance agent, because you might have $1,000 credit that you're willing to give, which really is $200 cost to you. That's like your cost to fulfill. And the actual insurance agent might have just made a relationship that pays them for years based off of that reference. They might really like being the hero to their client. So if you were the one responsible for making them feel that, then you probably just jumped up a little higher on the list of of what of like who they might refer when people need roof replacements, or when there is an insurance job and the person asks them who they suggest for a roofing company. So this is something where, like, if we once again have lines in the water, and you can follow up with the same person because you'll run out of five pretty quickly. Like, just check in, like, hey, just wanted to check in, like, offer still stands. But give them this opportunity and try to like create a call and position as a gift that they can give to their homeowners, just and you'll fulfill on it. This increases their status and it gives you the ability to get in with an insurance agent that maybe already had a roofer that they typically refer, but you just gave them a too good to be, like, a no brainer reason to use you over them for a few people. So these are just some examples of things. Now, there's other things that I could have added to this list. We could have thought of 20 different things if we really wanted to. We could have made it like this isn't okay, this is the master list. This is the perfect Brad's a genius list of what to do to grow. This is, hey, these are 10 things that you can be doing every day that will move the needle forward in your business. And it's a combination of direct, like just boots on the ground, getting in front of people, some things we can do online and in social media just to build our pipeline and to build some awareness and to build a referral network. And then it's some things that we can do with other people who share clients in a different way, not on social media, like outside of social media to get in front of them. these activities stack. So if you are able to say you don't even do it perfectly, and I'm just going to make this smaller so it all fits on one page, and then I'm going to zoom in. So say, okay, every day I tag 25 homes. I put leave behinds on all 25 of those homes. I'm not even knocking. I'm just like putting the door hanger, putting a little note, and then we're going to let this be the main follow up. If you have time, you can have the conversation. You're letting people know that you're in the area in different Facebook groups. You're alternating so that you don't get like so no one thinks you're like a scammer or a spammer, not scammer. Hopefully you're not a scammer, but so they don't think that you're just spamming and promoting in the Facebook group. It's more just like, hey, I'm in the area. Like, if you need anything, let me know. Like a little casual, kind of like almost like in disguise. The you know, Google is going to always helping you build up a little bit more juice on your Google business and helping it rank higher. Posting on social media is just a way to make sure that people are seeing what you're doing and you're staying top of mind as the guy for roof or the guy or the girl for roofing if they need it. The referral partner is an opportunity to build a relationship where one person can refer you tens of hundreds of thousands of dollars of job if you find the right person. So we're just trying to find them and work with them and have a bunch of different sources of referrals. And then the Facebook group stuff here is there we go. Okay. I was like, what? I think we're missing something. And the messaging the people on Facebook group, these are people that have raised their hand specifically for roofing, and the adjusters and the realtors, they share your clients. So we got an opportunity there to just put yourself in front of relevant people and to help them help you. So I'm gonna make a checklist for this so that it's like a resource that you guys can print out or you guys can use something like like the habit tracker app. There's one that I've used before that I like that I'll find for you. My encouragement is to try to do this stuff every day. And if you are an owner and you just are legitimately too busy, and I would do a gut check and look at yourself in the mirror and think, am I really too busy for this? Or am I just, is this just a pride thing and I just would rather not do it? If you're a one man show and you don't have a sales team, you should be doing this because you're responsible for sales. If you have a sales team, then have your salespeople do it, but potentially you can look at it too. But if you do these things every day, I am almost sure that you will see massive results. The thing that I want you to know is like, I want you to unbelieve that there is some big, amazing secret that anyone else has that you don't. The difference between someone who's crushing it and someone who's not almost always is a combination of luck and effort and discipline. So create your own luck by putting yourself out there as much as possible and finding that referral partner that sends you a job a week. Create your own luck by getting in front of as many people as possible and be disciplined about it and have put in the effort so that you are always putting more and more lines in the water. At the end of the day, the more offers you make, the more money you're going to make within reason, as long as you're putting out the offers in the right places. So finding different and creative ways to put out offers without it just being salesy and spammy and oh, we're just putting everything like we're just giving everyone, hey, work with me, work with me, work with me, and being a little more sophisticated than that, we're going to see a lot of good results from it. So anyone have questions or thoughts? Uh, I will put this resource out. I'll make this resource for all of the private clients and have it for them, and a few of the not private clients will be able to grab it while the recording of this is up. And we'll do that. But anyone have questions or thoughts or ideas even on some of this stuff?
I think maybe just like a little bit more in depth with the insurance agents and like how to present that to them as like a coupon or what does that look like the marketing material, like is that a flyer, is that a something that they're going to hand to their clients, or just like they're going to tell them about it, or because as you were
Yeah,
talking about that, I mean, I think you got to be really careful about how you present a coupon, because
yeah, I mean, it
depending
can't
on
be,
how they're going to use that, whether it's to repair something or towards a replacement, or do you allow them to see? And this is where I'm not sure. It sounds kind of illegal,
you can't
but
use it for an insurance claim. So like this has to be a way for them to tell someone, no, insurance isn't going to cover that, or it wouldn't make sense to cover that, but I have a solution for you outside of going through insurance.
okay.
So in regards to how you position it to the agent, one, trust that they know that I'll answer that in a second, Jose. One, trust that the insurance agent knows how to do things legally or illegally, and let them figure that out. Um, Two, when you offer this, let them know, hey, I know sometimes someone comes to you and they're in a pinch, or they're wanting something to be covered by insurance and it's just not big enough to justify going through that whole process. And I know you're kind of like a trusted advisor for a lot of them. And this is not how you word the email. This is more like if it was a face to face conversation. And then when you actually have the conversation with them, or when you give them the offers, like, I wanted to give you $3,000 coupons that you can use for different people uh, anytime that situation comes up. So if someone has a repair that you think is probably not really warranting an insurance claim, but might be like a $2,000 to $3,000 repair, let us know. We'll do it for 2,000 rather than 3,000. If someone just has a $1,000 repair, we'll do it for free. I know that sounds it's a little nervous to do. We're not going more than 1,000. We're just trying to make it our cost match what we would pay to acquire a customer, and then we're going to, one, use that to build the relationship with the adjuster. Two, we're going to do our same neighborhood marketing referral stuff with the homeowner that we work with. So that will just be another opportunity, and we turn you into a savior for them, just like the insurance agent was a savior for them. But it's on you to build the relationship once you actually are there. In regards to like scripting the email or something, I can help kind of come up with like a way to position it, but use ChatGPT or something too. Like, I really don't think that you necessarily want marketing material around it, because I think that, honestly, I just don't think it's necessary. Like, I think if you make it too formal, then it will almost lose some of its luster. I would say more just let them know, hey, this is something I'm willing to do just to like build a relationship with you. Like, let the insurance agent know, hey, this is just, I'm willing to give you $3,000 worth of roof repair work in $1,000 increments for like, I want this to be like your hero. Like, I want you to be able to like be the hero here. So if someone calls you and needs something and it's not an insurance issue, you have $1,000 credit that you can give them to work. So like, if you did $3,000 for one person, then you'd lose the opportunity to get multiple people. So that's why like we want to leave it at $1,000 for three people or something like that. But you can even do like more. Like, if you want, like, say they start sending you full replacements, you can say, okay, well, for every replacement that I do, that'll give you another $3,000 of credit for repairs. Like, that'll give you a $3,000 coupon. Like, so you can make it like a whole program too. But it's just kind of a workaround of, hey, you can't give them any real incentives around, like, you can't pay them or bribe them, but you can help them elevate their status. And if they gift free work rather than you being the one to actually like give them money, then it's still legal and it helps. But we can work on like the email if you want for the outreach, but I would just test. Like I could come up with something today and then it's not going to be the most effective one. Like you're just going to want to test and iterate and see what messaging lands. Seems like a marketer. Uh, 10, how many responses did I get? 10 more with a different variation, how many responses did I get? Just create different sample sizes of different like ways of wording it. And Jose, in regards to what should the note say, the note should really just say what you find. So uh, you're going to tag them in bid mailers, ideally. It's not a required step, but I think it'd be a good one. On the actual note that you put on the door that you want to do as like a complimentary action as the bid mailers, ideally, that would be a note of like, hey, I noticed that you had a missing jingle, or notice some algae on your roof. Want to make sure you are aware. If you need anything at all, just let me know. Like, I'm happy to help. Basically, just point out like the issue that you see without being like overly, like, you don't want to be like critical and be like, your roof's jacked up. But you do want to make sure that they know that there's a specific thing that you are referencing and you want them to be able to go look at it and see it themselves. So a good rule of thumb is, if like, I don't want you just to pick 25 homes on one block and just put whatever out. I want you to like spend some time looking for these specific houses. This is the one that would take you the longest. Like that process would take you longer than anything else on the list. It would actually probably take you as long as everything else combined. With that said, it's probably one of the most powerful as well, like at least in regards to like getting some quick potential. So I would just have the message kind of pointing out what you noticed could be an issue. So missing shingles, um, wind, like, hey, I noticed some wind damage and some lifted shingles. Hey, I noticed this. You could even say, hey, I noticed this. Shoot me a text. I can send you a picture of what I saw. If like it's something that's more difficult to like actually explain in the like the little handwritten portion. But just try to keep it casual, but also like try to make it feel very intentional. Like make it real. Hey, this is an actual issue. I'm not just putting flyers on every house. Um, and then they're going to get the estimate from bid mailers as well if you do that, which is, and hopefully they recognize and kind of remember your logo, or at least subconsciously. So it's the second tap rather than the first. So it's really just another touch point. And it makes it so they're like, oh, that company that sent us an estimate, I think it's the same company that left that uh, note for us. So it's not just some mass market mail campaign anymore where you're just sending out a million estimates. Now it's like a very intentional thing that they received from you. So it kind of just changes the frame with which they receive the unsolicited estimate. They will realize like, oh, this is like actually a real person. This isn't just like some company on the internet or potential scam. It's like, I don't know about you. I get loan offers all the time. Like I am good now, but at certain points we've had credit card debt, and because of that, I got a million loan offers. Like I just started getting mail like loan offer, loan offer, loan offer. And I still get them even though I don't have any and I've moved, and but it's still there. Like so it's like you don't want to get your bid mailer lumped in with that. You don't want them to open it and think, "Oh, they got me. They got me to open it." You want them to think, "Oh, okay, like this is what it would cost." Like, and ideally, like you've chosen a house where they almost feel like you are like reading their mind as to what they need. It's like the best case is it's a roof it's a roof in a neighborhood that is not just like they are not just like completely neglecting their home, but they know that their roof needs some work. And then all of a sudden, in comes Jose with an estimate, and you kind of just you want them to feel like you just saved them some steps of getting sold, and instead they just like got to know the price, which is the main question they had anyways. So I hope that is helpful. These trainings, guys, they're all about growth. I try to not make them all flashy. I try to make them just more actionable and things that really work. I'm not a proponent of home run derby, and I don't want you guys to be either, because we don't want to, if we do gamble in our business, we want it to be very educated, and we want to have a lot hedged against it. Really, we want to get really clear on what inputs create the outputs and the outcomes that we want, which is usually sales and business growth. And we want to get really clear on how to organize our days and our business and our processes and our teams around doing those over and over and over again so that we're growing. So I will put the checklist. I'll make that and I'll upload it with the private clients, like Built Right recordings for that all the private clients get, and also for anyone who, I think Jose, you just joined Skool. So that we have these trainings, the recordings are available for like 2 weeks. So when we post it, just keep an eye out over the next day or so, see when we post it, and then grab the resource before it goes away, because they do expire. All righty. Well, everyone tell Morgan that he is too late and that we are done. Goodbye, Morgan. We are and we will go from there. I appreciate you guys. Kevin, I messaged you on Slack, I think, but let's meet. We gotta meet. And everyone, Brian, I saw we have a call booked. Kobe, happy to catch up anytime. Just message me. Kevin, rock star, by the way, in regards to Morgan. I thought you were good at filming. Kevin's better than you at filming ads. I'm sorry. That dude is a natural. He filmed a few videos. They're short, they're snappy. Man, you did great. I thought you were like
I need some tips.
You were Tevin didn't.
Hey, I appreciate it, Brad. Hey, Morgan. Nice to meet you, man. I charge $100 an hour. Just shoot me an email.
Never mind. I do not need tips, guys. I do not need tips.
No, I'm just playing, man. I appreciate that, Brad.
Oh no, you did good. And Morgan, yours were awesome too. Brian made me like the best video testimonial I think I've ever had.
I don't know about that, but
There was an accept. For some weird reason, Facebook has not responded. I've thought like this is the most convincing video testimonial, but the world of Facebook, the cost per click is like literally 15 times higher than I'm used to, and I have no idea why. Which is
I'm telling you, I attract women 65 plus.
I know.
Okay?
I probably
That's
do
it.
need to just like that's probably what I need to do. Like look for the 60 to 70-year-old women that run roofing businesses.
Yes.
We need some less attractive in this group. Is what we need.
I know. Well, I'm trying to think. No, everyone. Got some good-looking dudes here. So we will Thursday. I'm gonna do the training. Private clients tomorrow. We got coffee and consulting. So I don't know if I've done a bad job at updating everyone. Sorry, but we're doing an hour-long like group consulting call on Wednesday mornings. So we added that in. So let's do that. And guys, y'all rock. I appreciate you guys more than you know, and keep on crushing it. If I can serve you in any way, just let me know. See ya.
Deuces.